Fame, fortune, and glamorous lifestyles, but what happens when the money disappears? Some of classic Hollywood's biggest stars lived like royalty at the height of their careers, only to face financial ruin later in life. From poor investments to bad contracts and shocking personal struggles, these stories will change the way you see old Hollywood forever. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Dark Stardom for more untold Hollywood stories. Buster Keaton. Buster Keaton was one of the brightest stars of silent cinema, earning millions during the 1920s thanks to his groundbreaking comedies and daring stunts. Audiences adored his deadpan expressions and physical comedy genius, making him a household name. However, his career took a sharp turn when he signed a controlling contract with MGM, which stripped him of creative freedom and forced him into projects that didn't suit his talents. Personal struggles, including a costly divorce and battles with alcohol, further drained his finances. By the 1930s, the once millionaire star found himself taking small gigs as a gag writer and occasional performer just to survive. His life became a cautionary tale of fame without financial security. Judy Garland. Judy Garland, forever remembered as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, was one of Hollywood's brightest stars, with a career that spanned singing, acting, and live performances. Despite her immense talent and fame, financial stability constantly eluded her. Mismanaged earnings, high agency fees, and extravagant spending quickly ate into her fortune. Studios often controlled her finances, leaving her vulnerable to debt, while ongoing health problems and prescription drug use added to her expenses. She continued performing tirelessly, believing each show would bring relief, but her debts grew. By the time of her death in 1969, Garland had little money left, proving that even iconic stars with worldwide fame could face harsh financial realities. Her story is a tragic reminder of Hollywood's unforgiving nature. Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi became an icon with his unforgettable performance as Dracula, but fame did not protect him from financial hardship. After being typecast in horror films, he struggled to find diverse roles, forcing him to accept low-paying jobs just to make ends meet. His extravagant lifestyle, combined with poor financial management and mounting medical bills, further drained his resources. Personal struggles, including addiction to painkillers and alcohol, made it even harder to maintain stability. Despite his legendary status, by the time of his death in 1956, Lugosi had little money left, and his family struggled to cover funeral costs. Yet, even in death, he was buried in his iconic Dracula cape, a haunting reminder of both his fame and misfortune. Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney was one of Hollywood's most enduring stars, beginning as a child actor in the 1920s and building a career that spanned 9 decades. At the peak of his fame, Rooney earned millions and lived a lavish lifestyle, but poor financial decisions and multiple divorces quickly drained his fortune. He often trusted managers and family members who mishandled or misappropriated his money, leaving him vulnerable to financial ruin. In his later years, Rooney openly spoke about the challenges of elder financial abuse and the devastating impact it had on his life. Despite his legendary status and contributions to film, he faced financial struggles until his death in 2014, a stark reminder that fame doesn't guarantee lifelong security. Veronica Lake. Veronica Lake was one of Hollywood's most glamorous stars in the 1940s, famous for her signature peekaboo hairstyle and captivating screen presence. She became a symbol of glamour and style, starring in hit films like This Gun for Hire and The Blue Dahlia. However, behind the glitz, her career faced turmoil, conflicts with studios, personal struggles, and inconsistent roles caused her star to fade. Financial mismanagement and poor contracts compounded her problems, leaving her with very little savings. By the late 1960s, Lake's life had dramatically changed. She reportedly worked as a cocktail waitress and lived in modest conditions, far from the Hollywood spotlight. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about fame, fortune, and the fragility of stardom. Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn was Hollywood's ultimate swashbuckling star, captivating audiences with his roles in films like The Adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood. Off-screen, Flynn's lifestyle was as adventurous as his on-screen persona, lavish homes, expensive cars, yachts, and extravagant parties were part of his daily life. Unfortunately, he spent money as quickly as he earned it, and poor financial planning left him vulnerable. Legal troubles, including highly publicized lawsuits and scandals, drained his wealth further. Despite decades of box office success, by the time of his death in 1959, Flynn reportedly had very little money left in his bank account. His story is a stark reminder that fame and fortune in Hollywood can be fleeting if not carefully managed. Frances Farmer. Frances Farmer was a talented actress who seemed destined for stardom in the 1930s, praised for her intense performances and striking screen presence. However, clashes with studio executives over creative control and her outspoken nature caused major setbacks in her career. Legal troubles, including arrests, combined with forced institutionalization in psychiatric hospitals, drained her finances and left her unable to work consistently. Her struggles with mental health and substance abuse further complicated her path, and opportunities in Hollywood dwindled. After leaving the film industry, Farmer lived a much quieter life, taking small jobs to survive and relying on friends for support. Despite her early promise, she died without financial security, becoming a cautionary tale of talent lost to misfortune and systemic pressures in Hollywood. Margaret Hamilton. Margaret Hamilton, best known for her unforgettable role as the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, enjoyed a steady career in Hollywood as a character actress. Unlike leading stars, she never commanded enormous salaries, but her consistent work in film, television, and stage productions allowed her to live comfortably. Hamilton was known for her professionalism and dedication, taking roles that kept her career active without taking unnecessary financial risks. She managed her earnings carefully, understanding the unpredictable nature of show business. While she didn't achieve the same fame or fortune as Hollywood's biggest names, Hamilton maintained a modest and stable life. Her story highlights the quiet resilience of character actors who built long-lasting careers without extravagant wealth. John Barrymore. John Barrymore, a member of the legendary Barrymore acting dynasty, was celebrated as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Nicknamed the Great Profile for his striking looks and commanding stage presence, he achieved enormous fame on both stage and screen during the 1920s and 1930s. At the height of his career, Barrymore commanded huge salaries and was considered Hollywood royalty. However, his personal life was marred by alcoholism, impulsive spending, and a series of expensive divorces that rapidly drained his fortune. He often made reckless financial decisions, trusting friends and family who mismanaged his money. By the 1940s, his health declined, and he struggled to secure leading roles, taking small parts in public appearances just to pay his bills. When he died in 1942, John Barrymore's once vast fortune had vanished, leaving a cautionary tale of fame, talent, and financial mismanagement in Hollywood. Gloria Grahame. Gloria Grahame was a glamorous and talented actress, best known for her work in classic film noir hits like The Bad and the Beautiful and In a Lonely Place. She won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, earning critical acclaim and fame during Hollywood's golden age. Despite her professional success, Graham's personal life was turbulent, including multiple marriages and family controversies, which took a toll on her career. As roles in major films became scarce, she turned to stage performances and smaller projects to make ends meet. Poor financial planning and inconsistent work meant that, despite her achievements, she struggled to maintain stability. In her later years, Grahame faced serious health issues, including cancer, and financial difficulties compounded her hardships. By the time of her death in 1981, the celebrated star had very little money, proving that fame and talent don't always guarantee lasting financial security. These stories remind us that fame doesn't always guarantee financial security. Behind the glamour of classic Hollywood were real struggles, bad deals, and difficult choices. Which story shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments.